What is going on, Colts Nation, and welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Your guy Cody here. Well, you've probably seen the news by now, but in the event that you haven't, the Indianapolis Colts have a new starting corner. They make a blockbuster trade at the trade deadline. They trade with the New York Jets, acquire former All-Pro corner Sauce Gardner, 25 years old. The Indianapolis Colts give up two first-round picks, a first-round pick in 2026 and one in 2027, and wide receiver Adonai Mitchell in this trade. And the New York Jets this summer extended Sauce Gardner, so right now he's getting paid fairly cheap, and then the extension will kick in 2026. So kind of my thoughts overall, guys, for this trade for the Indianapolis Colts. I want to just kind of walk through it. Again, I had a breaking news, kind of gave my instant reaction, but I've had a little bit of time to sit, process, chew on it a little bit, and I want to kind of give you my overarching thoughts here on this trade for the Indianapolis Colts. But before we do that, just want to say this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Guys, the Indianapolis Colts head to Germany this week. Right now, they are a 6.5-point favorite. According to the spread, according to FanDuel's spread. I do wonder with this trade, does that spread go up? The Atlanta Falcons just lost last week. So Falcons right now sit at 3-5. Now with the Colts adding a player like Sauce Gardner, will the odds go up there at all? Will the over-under get changed at all? But guys, be sure, again, to check out FanDuel for all your betting needs here this 2025 season. Again, thank you to them. Now, guys, when you look at this trade overall, so obviously when you look at it initially, it is a steep price. 2 first-round picks is certainly nothing to balk at. And a player like Adonai Mitchell, who still is on his rookie contract, and a player that you took in round 2 back in 2024, there certainly are a lot of question marks just about this trade in general. Now, I will say this. First off, Adonai Mitchell, very talented player. Very talented player, and I definitely wish him the best in New York, but I kind of look at it like this. Adonai Mitchell right now is your number 5 wide receiver. As talented as he is, I mean, let's be honest, Ashton Dulin was outplaying him. Ashton Dulin is a better receiver right now than Adonai Mitchell is. Adonai Mitchell's certainly a supremely talented wide receiver. Don't get me wrong. He's super talented, but it was fairly obvious that he has kind of fallen out of favor with this Colts team. I mean, just after all the debacle that happened in the Rams game, he kind of got relegated to the bench. And so you trade him away in this package. I wish him the best. Obviously, I would have loved to keep him just because he's talented. But again, if that's what it took to sweeten the deal, then good luck, Adonai Mitchell. But I think it was worth it, to be honest, because I think you seriously have guys that can step up in some of those roles. It's going to give Ashton Dulin a little bit more of a role now. Maybe Anthony Gould gets a little bit more of a role. Maybe Laquan Treadwell gets a little bit of a role there. But regardless of that, Adonai Mitchell, wish you the best. Very talented player. Hopefully he succeeds in New York. Now, when it comes to the draft capital for me, and a lot of people said, man, you're giving up 2 first-round picks. I kind of view it like this. This year, the Indianapolis Colts, they are likely going to be picking pretty late in the first round, right? If they continue to do what they did, you say, okay, the Pittsburgh game was a fluke. We're going to win double-digit games this year. We're going to be in the playoffs. We think we can be maybe one of the top 4 teams here left when it's all said and done. Then all of a sudden you look at that and you say, okay, we're picking in the late 20s to early 30s in that first round. So essentially, it's almost like an early second-round pick that you're trading this year. And then next year, I mean, obviously that's the big question mark, right? Can you continue your success? But again, I liken it to the Pascal Siakam trade, right? You feel like you have a lot of talent around your team. You feel like you have a lot of players that are playing very good football right now for you. You have the offense outside of the Pittsburgh game. Your offense has been historically good this year. You have some players on your defense you feel like are helping you succeed as well. And you felt like you just maybe needed that cherry on top, if you will, right? And you bring in an former, all-pro type of player, just like you brought in Pascal Siakam. Need a little bit of a change of scenery because let's be honest, who's succeeding in New York right now? Nobody succeeds in New York. They haven't succeeded for the last 5+ years in New York. I don't care if it's Daniel Jones or if it's Sauce Gardner. Quinnen Williams just got traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Like, it's very obvious the New York Jets are a mess of an organization, and there's just a lot of issues going on with that team. So I kind of look at this and I say, look at Chris Ballard's draft history, especially with cornerbacks. and tell me this isn't a good trade, because you've seen Chris Ballard has had 3 second-round picks since he has been the GM in 2017. I don't think any of the guys have earned a second contract. I'm pretty sure they haven't, right? Because you look at, obviously, Quincy Wilson, didn't earn a second contract. You look at Rocky Sin, didn't earn a second contract, got traded. You look at Julius Brents, didn't get a second contract. So Chris Ballard has not had a great history. But when he has actually gone out in either free agency or the trade market, he's had success. He's found guys like Xavier Rhodes, Stephon Gilmore, this year Charvarius Ward. And now you throw in another player in Sauce Gardner, who is, like I said, a former All-Pro player. He had a very strong start to his career. He was taken number 4 overall back in 2022. He's only 25 years old. So I look at that, and also he's under contract for the next 5 years. So I look at that all in an overarching look, and I say, I personally am okay with what you gave up. Was it a lot? Yeah, it was. I mean, 2 first-round picks, like I said, it's nothing to balk at all. That's a lot you're giving up. But potentially to get a player of Sauce's caliber, to get a player of Sauce Gardner's caliber for essentially 2 late first-round picks and a player that was falling out in your offense, I'm okay with that. To be honest with you, I'm okay with that. So I don't know, guys. That's just kind of where I'm thinking coming from. Like, I know some people are saying, all this stuff about how the Colts gave up too much. I personally am okay with the price. Like, I don't hate it as much as a lot of people do, because I think if Sauce Gardner can get back to where he was, if he has this change of scenery and he can get back to where he was, his first couple years with the New York Jets, I think that honestly, the Colts had the best cornerback room in the NFL. If Charvarius Ward comes back after the bye, Colts had the best cornerback room in the NFL. I mean, Ward has been a top 10 corner this year. Sauce Gardner, he's had his struggles this year, don't get me wrong, but getting out of New York, I think will certainly be helpful to him. Getting in this Lou Anarumo system will be helpful to him. He's a physical specimen also. He's 6'3", 190 pounds, and he's had a lot of that, really good pedigree early in his career. So I kind of look at this and I say, man, you are really securing your cornerback room for the future. And that's not even throwing in guys like Jalen Jones, who I thought looked really, really strong in his return to the field on Sunday. Potentially even a guy like Justin Wally next year. Like, your cornerback room has a ton of talent in it. It's kind of funny looking at it last year to this year, just how different the talent standpoint is. I mean, it's crazy. Well, I mean, last year you were relying on guys like Samuel Womack, Jalen Jones, who's not going to be a starter now for you when Charvarius Ward gets back. Like, you're relying on that kind of stuff, those type of guys. You had to sign Samuel Womack off the street. That's to the degree you were at last year with your cornerback room. Now you have Charvarius Ward, and now you have Sauce Gardner on your roster. It's crazy how much the Colts have done in their secondary this year. That's not even included, the signing of Cameron Bynum as well in the offseason. So the Colts have made a huge emphasis on the secondary in the offseason and obviously in midseason too. So it's kind of crazy to think about that. But guys, as far as just what the Colts gave up, I know it's a steep price, but I think if you look back, Sauce Gardner starts balling the next couple of years, it's going to be well worth it, to be honest with you. And honestly, good for Chris Ballard. I mean, it's crazy how different 2025 has been from the Chris Ballard that we are all used to, right? I mean, this guy has taken more swings and more risks this year than we've ever seen him take in his previous 8 years as GM. It's crazy to me that Chris Ballard has made all these swings, but I love it. I mean, the Colts are 7-2. They are right in contention. They are one of the best teams in the NFL record-wise. So you do all those things. You take the risk. You take the swing. If it doesn't work out, you figure it out later. But I look at this and I say, man, like, I like this trade for the Colts because this is a belief in your locker room, a belief in the players, a belief in the coaches, a belief that you add another talented player into your secondary, and once you get back and once you continue to roll, and you're going to have a bye week after, this game in Germany, like, you're going to be set and you're going to be a legitimate contender in the AFC. You are, right? Because now you have 2 corners that you can line up against any opposing offense. Like, even the best offenses in the NFL, you have 2 corners that can lock down both sides of the field. And oh, by the way, you also have Kenny Moore, who's one of the best slot corners in the NFL. So, yeah, it's crazy to me, guys, how good the Colts secondary can be here once they get Charvarius Ward back. But in the meantime, I mean, having Jalen Jones on the other side is just fine too. I'm perfectly okay with that. So, yeah, guys, I just wanted to give my overall thoughts on it. Again, like I said, I had kind of a reaction. I was really excited about it. I know some people aren't as excited about it, but I am, just because I appreciate the risk that Chris Ballard is taking. I appreciate him swinging for the fences here and going and getting a proven playmaker in that defense, and especially in that secondary, which I felt at times has definitely lacked in the playmaking ability. So to get a player of Sauce's caliber and what we know he can be, I personally am good with it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. The guys, that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on the Sauce Gardner trade. Are you okay with what the Colts gave up? Let me know in the comments down below. But guys, that'll do it for this one. Again, shout out to FanDuel. Really appreciate their sponsorship for the 2025 season. That'll do it for this one, guys. Thanks so much. And as always, go Colts.